up, guys? Dollar here with another Dollar Talks. Today, I want to talk about Game of Thrones' final season. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I know it's a little old now, but there's so much to go over, and it just made me fucking hate the end of Game of Thrones. I wish I'd never seen it. I got a little something special today. I've been doing a little research into the undead, and I managed to call up Dead Head Ned, Ned Stark's Dead Head, and we're going to have a little chat with him today and see what he thinks about the whole situation. So stick around. We're going to talk to him a little later. But starting off, I want to say some of the good things about it. I really liked the set pieces, the dragon ride that Jon and Daenerys went on. It was amazing. I loved that when it was flying around. It was so awesome. The tension that was building up, you knew the undead were coming, and everything was real tense, and they were preparing, in the first couple episodes. So as we go and they're preparing, somebody decides that the best place to hide everybody is in the fucking crypts for some reason. Because, that's where you hide when undead are coming. You want to get down in the crypts where all the other dead are, because, I don't know. And Tyrion, for some reason, he never thought about it either, so he's not as smart as we once thought he was. He's really been dumbed down a lot on this last season. Really the last two seasons, 7 and 8, it's gotten pretty bad. Every decision he makes is pretty stupid. It's not even like the same character anymore. But after they decide to go in the crypt before the undead get there, that's their big plan. Tormund shows up, and he tells them that the undead will be here by the next morning. So everybody's getting ready for that. So they decide to put Bran into the Godwood to protect him. Sam talks about how he is the history of man, and that's why the Night King wants to take him out, because he is all humanity's history for some reason. I don't know. I don't guess they have books anymore, or that big fucking library that Sam came from, and anything. But anyway, Bran's real important, and then he shows the mark, which, is pretty important when you show the mark, because you're thinking, well, it'll come into play later. So he shows the mark on his arm again, showing that the Night King's coming for him. And the Night King wants him dead. Okay, so they put him in the God, which Theon is going to protect him, which is cool, how he's going to have Theon protect him, finally, maybe redeem himself a little bit from all the shit he's done. So Sam, anyway, after they decide that they're going to protect Bran and all that, they go down in the crypts, and they're talking, and he tells Jon that he is not a full-blood Stark, that he is a Targaryen, that his father was a Targaryen. And he decides to tell him this right before a huge fucking battle, because that's the perfect time to do it, right? I mean, what other time are you going to tell somebody some fucked up news like that? Right before you go into a war. So Jon, after hearing that, he's kind of shocked by it. And he goes and tells Daenerys, because, like I said, that's the perfect fucking time to do it, right before a huge battle. You want to make sure she's on edge, just in case you win, then you got to deal with that shit. So that makes perfect sense, how he goes and talks and tells Dany all that. Brienne, she gets knighted, which is pretty cool. They had her, Jaime knights her. They're all drinking, and he tells her that it doesn't have to be a king to knight her, that another knight can knight her. So they do that, and that's all good and fine, but I mean, there's only a few drunk assholes sitting around to actually have confirmation that she was actually knighted, but I guess that's good enough, So there's that. Okay, so we get to episode 3. This is where the battle between the living and the dead, this is what we've been waiting for, the start of it. Or at least we thought it was going to be the start of it. I never would have dreamed it would have been so short, but either way. So the Night King's coming, the battle's starting, everybody's getting prepared. They have the troops set out front. I thought it was really cool at first how they had them set up, but then as I noticed, they had the catapults and stuff outside the gates, outside the fence, the walls. And they're set on the front lines for some reason, with all the troops behind them, and the cavalry in front. It's a really fucked up layout. I don't know why in the hell you put catapults out front, but whatever. It's not like the greatest tacticians planned for this battle. I mean, they just had a huge meeting so everybody could figure out how to plan this battle. So, John and Danny, they're going to stay back. They're going to stay back with their dragons and wait till the Night King shows up. Then they're going to attack the Night King when he goes after Bran in the Godwood. That's the big plan. Besides all the positioning being really fucked up here, the Dothraki and Jorah are going to lead the charge, which is really cool. They're getting ready, and it's pitch black out there. They can't see anything. And then all of a sudden, Melisandre shows up, the Red Witch. She shows up, and everybody's kind of giving her the eye, like, what is she doing back? But she tells us she's going to help, and she goes and she walks up to one of the Dothraki and touches his sword and says some chant bullshit. And if you notice, the sword isn't even fucking... I thought we established Dragonglass or Valyrian Steel was the only thing that could kill the undead or the whites. So you notice all these guys don't have any fucking thing. So I guess they were just going to lead the suicide charge, run off into battle and die because they had no weapons. But anyway, luckily Melisandre comes along and she sets all the weapons on fire, this is really awesome. It's a really fucking cool scene. All the swords light up. It's really, really awesome. And they lead the charge, okay? The undead are coming. They know it, so they lead the charge. They start rushing out to meet the undead. Catapults are firing. Fucking Jorah's riding. All the Dothraki with their flaming swords are heading into battle. They're going to fight. You feel like there's a chance, like they could maybe win this or do some damage. They even got ghosts coming with them. For some fucking reason, I don't really know why the wolf is going. I mean, like I said, we've established that Dragonglass and Valyrian Steel is the only thing that can hurt these fucking things. So I guess he's going to suicide charge the ghost. So Ghost is going to die too in this battle, apparently. And John just was cool with it, letting him go. So they go, and you see the torches go off in the distance. And this is a really cool shot. It's really awesome how you see the lights start fading out from the Dothraki swords. It's like they're getting enveloped in darkness, and you see them disappear. And it seems like they would have fires out in the distance, to kind of lead the way so they could see it as the armies approach. But they don't do that. So they send all the cavalry in. All the cavalry just get fucking annihilated. And then for some reason, Jorah comes riding back with a few guys running on foot. So I guess the undead didn't bother to just kill him, or they let him escape or something. So anyway, Jorah runs back out of the battle with 3 or 4 Dothraki. And pay attention, because there's only 3 or 4 Dothraki that survived this. I even think one of the writers, even after, said that it's essentially the end of the Dothraki, which is complete fucking bullshit, because you'll notice later on that they're all back. They did a little cheat code and they all come back. So thank God for cheat codes, right? All right, and now the front line's getting ready for the undead after the Dothraki have fallen. And as they're getting ready, you see in the darkness figures, and as they get closer, it's a huge fucking tidal wave of undead that just washes over all these soldiers. It makes you wonder how the hell any of them are going to survive with this many undead. It's like a tidal wave of dead. And they somehow hold it off, and their big plan is they're going to have trenches behind them, and they're going to light these trenches to keep the undead out from getting into the castle. Why in the fuck they put their catapults and troops in front of these trenches, I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. I guess so they can get caught in between their own trenches and the undead. But either way, they planned it out that way. And so they're trying to retreat back behind the spikes, and they're going to try to light it with torches. I guess that was their big plan. They forgot, and I guess John had forgotten that they freeze things, and there was a huge blizzard like he saw before when they the last time he confronted the Night King that froze everybody to death. I guess they forgot about all that. So anyway, and as they're all getting fucked up, Dany decides to abandon the plan. She says they're all dead anyway or some shit. So she gets on her dragon and flies off to help start fighting these guys on the ground, to start burning the undead, which they probably should have been doing that anyway. And about this time, you start seeing the White Walkers off in the distance. And they call in a huge storm, the blizzard, which kind of makes me wonder why the fuck the Night King didn't just start off with a blizzard. You think if he'd had a blizzard hitting him for 3 or 4 days before the battle, imagine how much damage that would have done and how hard it would have been prepared for a battle with freezing cold temperatures and a blizzard hitting the castle, softening you up for the big wave. But anyway, he doesn't decide to use the blizzard until right fucking now, so his White Walkers call in the blizzard. A big storm, and the dragons are flying around, and they see the Night King, and they have this big aerial battle. John's clawing the thing, and they're clawing each other. It's hard to really tell what's going on. It's moving around a whole lot. So anyway, they knock the Night King off, and he's falling like an asshole to the ground, you know, and he's like, no, as he falls down to the ground. It's really awesome, the last scene that it shows him falling. Of course, he's not dead, and they go down to the ground, and Danny's flying around, and she sees him with a dragon, and she tries to burn him. You know, she's flying above him, breathes fire on him, and he just looks up and smiles at her like an asshole. Because apparently Dragonfire doesn't kill him, but Valerian Steel, which is made with Dragonfire, does kill him. Who knows how that works, but either way, that's the plan right now. And anyway, they're still trying to light this trench. Let me get back to that. And Melisandre runs out there, and she's trying to light the trench because the torches didn't work. So she starts chanting and touching some of the spikes, and the flames burst up, and they light all of them. They keep the undead from just crawling over and coming in and killing everybody. But then when it lights up, you see Jon fucking Snow just sitting on right next to the spikes. You'll see him sitting there, and he looks as it lights up. So what the fuck was he doing the whole goddamn time? Shouldn't he have lit it with the dragon? Doesn't dragons breathe fire? I mean, wasn't that the whole fucking point? But anyway, I guess he forgot, so he spaced out watching the fire go around, even though he could have lit it a long fucking time ago. Thanks a lot, Jon, you fucking asshole. Oh yeah, and we cut to Bran, and Bran, you know, he's gonna fucking do something, you know, and he's like, I have to go now. And then he takes over some ravens, and he flies off and all that shit. I forgot about that. So, I kept thinking maybe he was going to do something cool, you know, maybe he was going to warg into the dragon or warg into something. No, he just wanted a better view so he could fucking look and chill out. He doesn't really care. He's not too much worried about it, apparently, because he's seen the future. As the battle goes on, you get to Arya, and she's fighting with the Hound on the wall, and then she gets separated, and she ends up in like the library of Winterfell. And then the tone kind of changes. It's like it's a fucking, like a horror movie in a way. Like, instead of just being a tidal wave of dead, now there's just like a few, like, looking around the castle for her or something. Like, and she's hiding, playing cat and mouse with them. And one of them they hear a drop of blood that comes out of her as it hits the floor. And they all can hear it and know it. So now they know they can just hear from a drop of blood, apparently. And anyway, she tries to escape, and she manages to run, and she meets up with the guy and the Hound, the one-eyed guy that always gets brought back. I can't even remember his name. But anyway, and he dies trying to save her. She gets banged up a little bit, you know, and she runs off with the Hound and meets Melisandre in another room. And Melisandre looks at her and says some shit about eyes closing, you know, the blue eyes, and the thing about the eyes she always said. And then she says, what do you say to the god of death? Not today, you know, like Serial showed a long time ago for some. So what does Arya do? She just leaves them to Melisandre and the Hound standing there and just runs the fuck off. Why they don't follow her, I don't know. They just stay in that room, I guess, waiting for the undead to come in. As the battle's raging on outside, I mean, everybody should be fucked. They are just overwhelmed. You see Brienne getting attacked 3 or 4 times and hollering like a fucking banshee. You see Jaime getting overwhelmed. You see fucking Sam out there fighting, and he's a coward. I mean, no shit, you'll actually see a scene of him laying down, crying, and stabbing one of the zombies. And they're just all over him. Why the fuck they don't kill him, I don't know. He should have been dead 10 times already. The guy with the Night's Watch, he gets fucking murdered, though he actually does die. He's one of the few. Oh, and Jon, as he gets knocked off his dragon, and he sees the Night King up ahead, and he's going to go fight the Night King head on, you know, he's going to go fight him and take him out, which I was hoping they'd at least have a little sword fight or something cool. And as he runs up to the Night King raises his arm and raises the dead. And you see Jon pretty much surrounded, so he should be fucked right now, or he should run up and stab the Night King real quick, but he doesn't. He just kind of stalls, and all the undead come up. And then Dany comes down, and she swoops down and saves Jon, breathes fire as the Night King leaves. And as she breathes fire and saves Jon, apparently she forgets there's a whole fucking army of undead behind her. So as she's sitting there just spaced out watching Jon run off for some reason with a crazy look on her face, the zombies the undead, they jump on the back of her dragon and start climbing on like fucking ants. So she gets freaked out and she falls off as the dragon takes off. And Jorah, you know, because he ran away earlier, he comes out, he saves her and fights, and which I like the way he did come and save her and fought and actually died in a kind of a cool way. He died saving her, you know, and that was really cool. Oh, and then we cut to the crypt scene. We got to cut down there for a little bit, and for some reason the undead down there are busting through fucking stone caskets, no problem. That now they've got super strength. I mean, these fucking skeletons and bones. And I was really hoping, Dead Head Ned would have made an appearance there, but we didn't see any of the Starks running around. We didn't see any of the dead Starks. They cut that out for some fucking reason, and just showed a few running around, busting out of these stone sarcophagus somehow or another now. And we cut back to John. He's running through the courtyard of Winterfell, and he sees Sam, and he sees Jaime and Brienne. Everybody's surrounded. They should be fucked now. They should all be dead. But anyway, he sees them, and he sees Sam down crying and sniveling and shitting himself. And he decides to run past because he knows if he doesn't go stop the Night King, then they're all going to die anyway. So he has to leave his best friend down there to die. And like he should have already been dead any fucking way. But anyway, he runs past. The dragon lands. The dragon starts breathing fire and everything, fucking up shit. And if you remember earlier, when the Night King drove in, flew in on his dragon, he tore down the Winterfell wall like it was made of fucking tissue paper. It just blasted through it like a laser beam, cut through those stone, no problem. So now Jon's fighting and running up trying to get to Bran to protect him and help him out in the Godswood. And so the dragon's breathing fire and he can't get past it. So he runs and dives behind a fucking rock. And the dragon breathes fire and it goes all around the fucking rock. After it just showed that the dragon went through and cut through the fucking walls of Winterfell like they were paper. So somehow or another Jon survives hiding behind the rock. I'll show you that picture. It's fucking stupid. You figured it would have blasted him to fucking dust or burned him to a crisp. I mean, this is the same goddamn dragon that took down the fucking wall. The wall in the north, that fucking huge ass wall just got took down like it was nothing. But anyways, this is the same dragon. He's able to hide behind the rocks, and it's okay. He doesn't die from that. And as Jon's all occupied with the dragon, we cut back to Bran in the Godswood and Theon. And Bran, like an asshole, he's back, and he tells Theon he was a good man, and he forgives him and all that shit. And he just lets Theon run off as the Night King comes in, and Theon runs toward the Night King like a fucking asshole. With a spear, just running headlong. And so he gets to the Night King. The Night King pretty much takes the spear, jams it up his ass, and he falls over. Steps over him and keeps going, Thanks, Theon. At least you died doing something, I guess. So, Bran, he knew that Theon was going to die. And you know what? He didn't warn him or say anything. He just let him fucking die. So anyway, the Night King's walking up to Bran, and he's looking down at him with that weird look on his face. You thinking maybe now you're going to get some answers or figure out something or why he's so interested in Bran besides the history thing. But instead of pulling his sword out, he takes his fucking sweet time and he's staring at Bran, licking his lips and shit. And then all of a sudden, you see one of the White Walkers, they turn like they hear something. And then a few seconds later, you go back to the Night King and he's reaching for a sword to kill Bran. And then all of a sudden, Arya just comes flying out like a fucking ninja, just out of nowhere. And he turns around and he grabs her up by the throat. And he has his hand around her throat. And if you remember the whole Bran showing the fucking mark on his arm, that was a huge deal. Why this doesn't affect Arya, who knows? But anyway, she drops her knife and does a little thing like they did on The Last Jedi, the little sneaky trick. Stabs the Night King, and it fucking kills him instantly. Just one fucking stab. And then all of a sudden everything busts. All the fucking undead die. All the White Walkers die. It's over. It's fucking over. That's it. That's all. It's fucking over. So all this big fucking climactic build-up for the undead and the fight for the living between the dead, this is what you get. Arya killed him with one fucking stab. Yeah. And luckily, it's by the rules that if you kill the leader, all the other ones die. So, goddamn, that's all that. Arya saved the fucking day, which I have no problem with Arya saving the day. I just wish it would have been done a little different. It already showed she was injured when she hit her head when running earlier, playing hide and seek. So she was already a little bit bruised and battered. But yet she was still able to sneak past all these fucking White Walkers, all these generals, all this shit, jump like 100 feet and stab this asshole in the back. Or not in the back, but stab him anyway, with a little trick maneuver. Just because he wasn't fucking paying attention, I guess, or I don't know. But anyway, you never see the grab where he grabbed her by the throat. That never comes into play again. I was really hoping that would have done something, like maybe Arya would have turned into the Night King or something. But that never fucking happens. So that's it. That's the end of the Night King. Thanks for watching for fucking 8 goddamn seasons. It's over just in, that's it, in a blink of a fucking eye. Already saves the day. So there's that. And then we cut to the next day, and there's a few piles of bodies and funeral pyres. Everybody's doing their mourning over the people they lost. Of course, they didn't lose any actual named characters besides the Night Watch guy. Everybody else seems to be fucking just fine. Look at John. He's got like a little bruise on his cheek, and Danny's fine. Hell, even fucking Sam's just fine. He's good to go. Everybody's good to go out dancing now. It's a good fucking time. Everybody's got a little bruise here and there on the cheeks, so luckily not bad, you know. They managed to stop the Night King. He didn't manage to do anything. He went to the first settlement and got fucked up. First settlement beyond the wall and got fucked up at Winterfell. Goddamn Theon did better than that. At least he was able to take Winterfell. So anyway, and you think with all these bodies, these piles of bodies out there, there'd be a shitload more. I mean, earlier, the Night King had a tidal wave of dead bodies, and yet somehow or another, the next day, they're able to just make a few little piles here and there, and that's it. They cleaned it up real nice, so no problem there. I figured it'd have been a lot of work cleaning up all the dead, but no problem. They got it all piled up and taken care of. They're burning them. Everybody's saying goodbyes to a few people, you know. So you cut to now where they're celebrating their victory. They're having a party in Winterfell. Everybody's drinking and toasting and patting each other on the back, you know, and you see a little Starbucks cup next to Dany because, you know, she's thirsty. Needs a little latte after her little problems she's been having. After doing that big battle, she has to have a latte. Can't blame her there, you know. She probably just popped on down the road on her dragon and picked one up. Alright, so the next day, everybody's drinking and having a good time celebrating their victory. And you get Jaime and Tyrion and Brienne. They're playing a drinking game. You know, which is fine. And then they bring up something about being a virgin or something, and then Brienne has to take a drink. I don't know. They act like it's a negative that she's a virgin in this time. I mean, I thought that was a good thing back then. But apparently not. They shame her into it or whatever. And she gets up and leaves, and Jaime's going to follow her. But the North guy, he's, you know, wondering about the big woman, Tormund. He gets punked out by Jaime for some reason and just says fuck it. So he's not too worried about it, apparently. He's been talking about this big woman the whole time. Jaime's just pretty much punks him out and tells him to go on. Don't worry about that shit. So Tormund starts crying and leaves. And Jaime, well, he goes to have sexy time, you know, because he feels sorry for her because she's a virgin, I guess. Or something, I don't know. I never really thought they had any sexual chemistry. That wasn't something I thought. I thought they more respected each other and was more honorable towards each other. But no, apparently he's going to go bang her because she's a virgin. He feels sorry for her. And he no more than gets done, and then he's saddling up his fucking horse. He's taking off, and she runs out to ask him about it and tells him not to go. And he says, I'm just bad. I got to go back to Jaime. Or I got to go back to Cersei, excuse me. I got to go back to Cersei. I'm bad. I'm bad fucking news. You don't want me, I'm bad. So he just leaves, you know. The bed's not even fucking cool yet, and he's already taken back off to Cersei, so appreciate that, fucking Brienne. See you later. So, I forgot before Jaime left, Cersei had paid Bronn to come and kill Jaime and Tyrion. And she gave him a big fucking crossbow, the one that Joffrey had fucking used, you know, that he had for him made a long time ago that he killed that prostitute lady with. And anyway, and I guess somehow or another Bronn teleports the fuck up there to where Tyrion and Jaime is, and managed to walk the fucking Winterfell, no problem, with this big fucking crossbow, and walks in and sits down while these two assholes are sitting there drinking. Tyrion goes to say something, he pops him in the fucking nose, you know, points it at him, and Tyrion promises him to give him Highgarden as payment if he lets him live. And Bronn, instead of being his friend like you thought he would do, and actually, I didn't think he was actually going up there to kill him, but apparently the story writers forgot that. So anyway, he just bribes him with Highgarden, and Bronn's like, okay with it. And he just gets his big fucking crossbow and walks out, you know. Nobody bothers to stop him. Nobody cares that he's with Cersei, and they know Cersei's not coming to help him now, so they know she's an enemy. But they just let Bronn come the fuck in, no problem. Anyway, so that's over. So we come to Jon now, and he is in the Godswood, and Bran, for some reason, looks at his sisters and asks if Jon wants to tell him. You know, like pretty much busting Jon out on it. And Jon tells Bran to go ahead and tell him the secret. So Sansa and Arya know the secret now. And Sansa waits about 15 fucking minutes, or the first time she sees anybody worth telling, she sees Tyrion, and tells him the secret and goes ahead and blabs that out. So, we'll go ahead and get through that pretty quick, and Tyrion tells everybody else. Now the whole fucking world knows that Jon is a Targaryen. You would think this would come into play a little later, but not so much. And Jon, he's getting ready to leave, and he sees Ghost. Somehow or another, fucking Ghost survived. He's missing an ear. I don't know how the fuck he survived that tidal wave undid. But he did. And Jon being so fucking cool now, he doesn't say shit to Ghost. He just gives him a little fucking nod and sends him on his way with Tormund to go up north because he's a fucking prick and he can't even pet the goddamn dog that he sent on a suicide mission. So I'm pretty sure he wanted the fucking dog to die. Maybe he was just tired of taking care of it. He'd rather just worry about begging Dany. He doesn't give a shit about anything else. Fuck the dog, I guess, right? So after all that, and they're having a little battle plan, and the Spider points out that Euron's fleet is still out and they're still doing shit, So Dany, the most logical fucking thing to do, seeing how Euron's fleet's out there, is to fly around over the fucking ocean. That's the best thing to do. So as she leaves, she's flying towards Dragon Keep, Dragonstone, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, she's flying towards there, and her and her dragon are smiling and having a good time over the water. And then all of a sudden, fucking arrow flies and hits her pet dragon on the side there, the one that's next to her. Perfect fucking shot. And then another one. And then a fucking other one. So 3 perfect shots, and then all of a sudden you see a goddamn Euron and a fleet of fucking ships coming. So somehow or another, this bitch was flying around up there, and boats snuck up on her on the fucking ocean. I'm not sure they realize how the fuck, how an aerial view works. I don't know how the fuck you could, how can boats sneak up on somebody? Much less have 3 direct hits on a flying fucking dragon. So not only is the boat moving and the fucking dragon's moving, right? But 3 direct hits kills the dragon, one of the dragons is over with. Riders had to get rid of one of those fuckers because it made it way too easy. Get rid of those bastards and throw it in the ocean. Nobody gives a shit. The dragon's done. So Dany, in a fit of rage, she flies towards Euron's fleet. And Euron and them, well, they shoot at her, bolts flying all around her. And Dany just says, fuck it, and I'm getting out. She breaks it, takes off, leaves all her people down there in boats, and she flies some fucking where. So then Euron, you see him point his little ballista or his fucking scorpion at the boats that all of her people are on. And why they're in boats, who the fuck knows? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Spider just told her that Euron and the goddamn fleet are out there, but whatever. So they sink all the fucking ships, and you see everybody that's important show up on this one beach. Except Melisandre, and then you get Grey Worm hollering, Missandei, excuse me. So apparently Missandei's been captured. How the fuck Cersei or anybody, or even Euron, why they didn't come kill all these people while they were on the beach, I don't fucking know. Maybe it was all just to grab Missandei, even though they don't know anything about fucking Missandei. They don't know anything about her. Or why she would be important to Dany in any way. As far as I knew, she was just a translator. But anyway, it was important enough for fucking Euron to grab Missandei. So there's that. So now, all of Dany's ships are sunk. All the troops she brought with her are fucked now, right? She's down a dragon. The Dothraki are already dead. We've already established that. We've seen they all died there. And a lot of the fucking Unsullied, I would like to think, have died. And we cut to Dany and Tyrion and like 20 guys in her dragon in front of King's Landing. And King's Landing is a fucking desert now, so apparently Cersei's been fucking with weather control and shit. She's managed to change the climate there. But anyway, she's got a bunch of scorpions on the wall and a shitload of archers and pretty much could just kill fucking Dany in any goddamn time at this point. And Dany and her 20 guys are standing there, and Tyrion, he's going to go talk to Cersei now on the wall. Oh, and they see that she has Missandei up there. Like, they're holding Missandei hostage. Like I said, I don't know why they think that she's important. But anyway, Tyrion goes to barter, and Qyburn comes down, and he just kind of brushes Qyburn off and walks towards his sister that just tried to pay Bronn to kill him in a shitload of archers and scorpions, and he walks up to him and starts talking to her and telling her about her unborn child. And you see Euron back there, and he's just got a dumb fucking look on his face. Why it never dawned on him that Tyrion's been up fucking north this whole time and knew about his baby that he supposedly had. I don't know, but apparently he's fucking an idiot. We already kind of knew that, but I just didn't think he was that fucking stupid. So anyway, Tyrion mentions the child, and Cersei holds her hand up, you know, like she's gonna feel him like a pincushion, you know. I'm thinking that's the end of Tyrion. That sucks, but too bad, dude. She don't walk up there. So anyway, she decides against it after she just paid somebody to fucking kill him. And lets him leave. And apparently the 20 guys, Dany and that fucking dragon, Cersei just lets them skedaddle on back on fucking home. She doesn't bother to send anybody after them or shoot them or do anything. The next scene, you know, they're all back in Dragonstone. Like, she just let them fucking leave. Why? I don't know. Cersei just stood up there with a smirk on her fucking face. Because, you know, that's the villain she is. Before they leave, though, I mean, yeah, she cuts off Missandei's head, and Grey Worm's no, and you can tell that Dany's losing a little bit over losing Missandei. She lost one of her closest friends and advisors. But like I said, how the fuck they knew that she was that close to him, I don't know. Whatever. So they're back in Dragonstone, and Varys, you know, he's going around blabbing like a fucking schoolgirl, committing treason in front of everybody, telling Jon that he should be the rightful king and all this shit. Just completely disregarding the secret character that he was before, the master of fucking secrets. Now he's a master of fucking blabbermouth, and he's an idiot. You know, he just completely lost all logic. And so as he's blabbing and shit, Tyrion goes and tells Dany that Varys is blabbing. So she sends some troops to Varys' room, and what do you know? He's in there writing fucking letters, sending them out with ravens. I don't guess he managed to send any out for some reason, because he just burned the one letter he had. Maybe he didn't have time. Who the fuck knows? I'd like to think by now he'd already sent out plenty of ravens. But anyway, it's never really brought up again. And they take Varys outside, and Tyrion, you know, he walks by and looks up at him and tells him it was me, you know, and Varys is like, fuck, no shit, dude, really. You know, and Tyrion, he's such a cool guy, you know, he just sold out his one of his best friends for fucking treason, and little do we know, here in the next few scenes, Tyrion's gonna fucking commit treason too, by releasing his brother that was caught. Jaime got caught, and he asked Jaime how he got caught, you know what, he raises his fucking hand. He got caught because he didn't cover his fucking hand up. That's how he got caught, stupidity. After all this bullshit, Jaime got caught by Dany's troops because he couldn't cover his fucking hand. So anyway, Tyrion commits high treason, same thing he just killed Varys for, and he lets Jaime go. So now we get the beginning of the sack of King's Landing. They're beginning to take the city. So you get Euron on his boat, walking around and doing this fucking shit right here. And you get another scene of him doing this. And he's doing this again. And he just keeps on doing that for some reason. Like, he doesn't know. It's like he fucking forgot that Dany was on a goddamn dragon. Of course, he's coming from the fucking sky, dude. You don't have to keep posing and doing that. We get it. So she comes down, and all the ballistas now, they can't hit shit. They miss her by a fucking mile. Even though they knew Dany was coming, so she flies around, burns all the fucking ballistas on the ships. Destroys the entire fleet. No problem with one dragon. And then you cut to Jon and them outside the city gates, and you see the Golden Company in the front, and they're all lined up, ready to do battle, you know, Jon and them getting ready for war. And Tyrion, he brings up that once the bells start ringing, that they surrender. Even though the bells have never been surrendered any other time in the whole story, all the way back to the 4th season, when the Onion Knight was talking about how the bells never meant surrender, how he hated the sound of the bells. But anyway, now the bells mean surrender. So anyway, we cut back to the Gold Company. They're standing around like a bunch of assholes. You start hearing explosions behind them, and they're all like, what? They're looking around, you know, like, like they had no idea all these fucking explosions are coming behind them. So they were just standing there, and nobody on the wall apparently even hollers, hey, there's a fucking dragon coming, run. No, they stand there in front of the goddamn gates like a bunch of assholes, and here goes the dragon fire like a fucking laser beam. Cuts through and burns all the Gold Company in one fell swoop. Just fucks them all up. Obliterates all that shit. No problem. Just take them right out of there. See you later, guys. And then the little lead guy of the Gold Company, he's running, you know, trying to get away, and fucking Grey Worm kills the shit out of him, you know, no problem. So then a whole shitload of Dothraki show up, you know, now that the gate's down. Where the fuck the Dothraki came from, I don't know. Where the Sully, I don't know. She got all her troops back now, so we're back to kicking ass, ain't we, Dany? So after she flies around, blows all the ballistas up, now they start raping and pillaging fucking King's Landing, you know, because That's what you do. You start sending people into rape and pillage. First fucking thing. And as they're raping and pillaging, you know, it keeps showing Cersei up there, you know, boy, she's sipping her wine and smirking and shit. I don't know what her fucking plan is. She sees everything's getting fucked up and she's still just standing there. And then she says something about her troops are really loyal. And then in like the next scene, you see them all surrendering. Like you just said they were loyal and they'll fight better than any sellswords. And now they're fucking surrendering moments after you say that. That's ironic, I thought. So they start ringing the bells, you know, to surrender. And for some reason, I don't know, Dany loses her fucking shit over these bells. It makes her lose her goddamn mind. So she proceeds to start flying around, burning the fucking shit out of everybody. Men, women, children, whoever the fucking, her own people. I'm sure she burned every fucking body. Just burning everybody. Instead of going to the Red Keep and killing the one that caused all this shit, Cersei. No, burn the people. Fuck the people. That's what she says. After she's been preaching this whole time about being a queen of the ashes and anyway, she just loses her shit. Boom, something snaps. Bells, fuck the bells. She's tired of hearing it. Arya and the Hound, I forgot they've been heading towards this King's Landing the whole time. Arya had a score to settle. The Hound, of course, he wanted to deal with the Mountain. You get to them now. They've made it into the city. They've made it up to the Red Keep. While Dany's burning the fuck out of everybody, murdering everybody. Arya and the Hound, they have a little talk, and the Hound tells Arya, you don't want to be like me. Even though Arya's killed so many fucking people already. And went all the way to this fucking city to kill the Mountain. For some reason now she has a change of plan because the Mountain, or the Hound said, you don't want to be like me. So she decides just to fucking book it now. She's had enough of revenge. She's done. Now she's just going to run away. So the Hound goes up the stairs and you see the Hound. He finally confronts the Mountain, Cersei, Qyburn, and a few guards. He dispatches the guards. The Mountain, you know, he steps forward. He's ready to, you know, to fight his brother. He sees the Hound down there, and Qyburn says, "Stay with your queen." And you know, because he has such good control of him, he grabs hold of Qyburn, splatters his fucking head against the wall, smashed him like a fucking grate. Which was, I couldn't help but laugh at that point. I know that it's fucking funny, but anyway, he splatters him, throws him down there. Thanks for coming out, Qyburn. Appreciate it, buddy. And he steps forward, and Cersei, she just kind of walks on down and slides past the Hound. Now the Hound ain't got shit to do with her. He just lets her go. So the Hound and the Mountain, you know, they start duking it out, fighting, and he fucking stabs him with his. The Hound stabs the fucking Mountain through the chest with a sword, you know, and the Mountain's like pulls it out, no problem, you know. And they're fighting, and he fucking puts his fingers through his eyes and shit. You do the old eye gouge thing, because that's what you're doing that big. So fucking the Hound grabs a dagger, puts it right between his fucking old baby blues, you know, and puts it right between his fucking eyes. So the Mountain, and that doesn't even kill the Mountain, he's like, pulls it out. And I'm thinking the whole fucking time, goddamn, the Night King got killed with one fucking stab, and this asshole's taking him to the face, no problem. No fucking problem. So the Hound, he's down to his last fucking, he don't know what to do, his eyes are fucked up. So he just, suicide charges, takes the fucking Mountain off, they fall off into the fire, it's over. Who knows if the fire actually killed the Mountain? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he just took a knife to the fucking face. I really don't think the fire killed him, but whatever. Maybe he's like Frankenstein and fire's his thing. So there you go. The Mountain and the Hound, they're done. We solved that problem. We cut back to Jaime now, and he is coming to try to find Cersei and get her out of the Red Keep. Well, he finds the little secret cave that Tyrion told him about earlier and the little rowboat that him and Cersei are planning on escaping on. And as he's running up, lo and fucking behold, you look behind him, and I'll be goddamned if Euron isn't swimming out of the fucking sea like a fucking merman or whatever the hell he's... Of all the places in the entire fucking beach up and down the coast, he happens to wash up right next to fucking Jaime Lannister, you know, and he's not really that tired or anything. He's been swimming probably fucking miles, you know, getting up there. But he's ready to go, you know, and he's ready to fight Jaime, because this is what the fight we've been waiting on. Jaime and fucking Euron's dumbass. Doing this bullshit over and over and over. Surprised he wasn't doing it towards Jaime, you know what I mean? But anyway, they start fighting, and Euron, he fucking stabs the shit out of Jaime, and it's a little battle, and it's not really over. Jaime wounds Euron, and Euron's just like, oh, fuck it, he lays back. He's like, I killed the King's, even though he didn't fucking kill him. He's just laying here with a stupid fucking grin on his face as Jamie runs off into the fucking castle and then runs up all these flights of fucking steps. Jamie makes it all to the top and finds Cersei in the map room. He finds her in there, no problem, and so they hug and make amends. And he's like, come with me, and they're running and they're trying to get out of there, and they end up going down into the basement. And they run down there to the way he came in, and it's done collapsed. Now there's no way out, and they're trapped. So they look at each other, and she's, I don't want to die, and all of a sudden you see the fucking walls caving in behind them, the roof's caving in. It looks fucking disastrous. And it caves in, and boom, they're all dead. It caves in on top of them. So that's the end of Jamie and Cersei. They went out, not how expected, but whatever. They're dead now. So that's pretty much the sacking of King's Landing after Dany burned fucking everybody. It went batshit crazy. Burned everybody. And you see Arya running around while this is going on, too. It keeps cutting back to her for some reason, like we're trying to, I don't know. And she tries to help some people, and she actually gets them fucking killed. They would have been just fine staying there, but no, Arya gets them killed by dragging them out in the street. Gets them burned up. Thanks, Arya. Appreciate it. And she gets almost dead several times and burned, I don't know how many times. Her plot armor's really fucking thick. And at the end of this episode, she sees a white horse, and she walks up to it and pets it or calms it or some shit. I don't fucking know. And then when she gets on the fucking horse and leaves, the next episode starts, the goddamn horse is fucking gone. So I guess the writers just forgot about it. I don't fucking know. The horse is gone. It had no meaning, no purpose. I often wonder in my head, what the fuck was the purpose of the horse? I thought she was going to leave the city, but she didn't. She was still in the city afterwards. I don't know. I guess you're going to leave something in the comments. Let me know. And at the beginning of the episode, you see Tyrion walking around, and he's going to go to the Red Keep to find Jamie and Cersei because fucking reasons. As far as he knows, they could have escaped. Why the fuck is he going there? Who knows? Because he told them to leave. Anyway, he knows they're dead. Maybe he's got a psychic link with them now. I don't know. But he goes, and he climbs over a little bit of rubble, and he finds piles of rubble here and there, even though it looked like the whole fucking place fell in. But he managed to go up to this one little pile of rubble and sees the hand sticking out. I'm not sure they realize how debris works, but when things fall on you, you tend to be covered. You don't get pushed up to the top of the pile. It doesn't work that fucking way. But anyway, he moves a couple bricks, and then they are laying there. Look like they're napping. I half expected them to get the fuck up, and be dusted off and be fine. But no, they're at the top of the pile. So that's how that works, guys. Good writing. And you get, as they're looking at all the devastation Jon sees, he sees all the people burn, him and the Onion Knight. Sir Davos are walking around, and they see all the devastation. And they come up on Grey Worm, and he's got a bunch of prisoners in front of him, and he's slitting motherfuckers' throats, boy. And they walk up and tell him not to do it. Him and Jon, and they have a little standoff there. And he's like, well, let's go talk to the queen. I'm going to talk to my queen, and he's okay. He goes, so what does Grey Worm do? He turns right the fuck around and slits somebody else's fucking throat right in front of Jon and Davos. Like, fuck you guys, and they don't do shit about it. Even though he was trying to stop them. So Grey Worm's just turned into a complete asshole at this point. He's murdering fucking innocent civilian. Prisoners that have surrendered anyway. So Jon, and he proceeds to go talk to the queen, and as he's going there, well, the goddamn Dothraki are back in full force now. I guess they've repopulated with themselves. Just a bunch of guys repopulating, apparently had babies. I don't know, maybe they're clones, I don't fucking know. And you see the Unsullied, they're back in full fucking force too. She probably has more guys now than she did when she started. How? I don't know. Maybe they were off on vacation. Who knows? Jon proceeds up the steps, and I'll be damned if Grey Worm didn't fucking beat him there. He's waiting on him. Apparently he forgot. He didn't read the script, and he just run ahead real quick and got ahead of Jon. He knew Jon was coming. Going to cut him off at the pass. So anyway, Jon either took his sweet fucking time, or the writers, they forgot. They wasn't paying attention. And then you see Dany's dragon fly over and land, and then she comes out, and she has the dragon wings, which is a pretty cool little image. I really thought that was fucking cool. So she really looks like a dragon queen. And she comes out, and she's looking healthy as fuck, man, after she just lost her mind and was looking all haggard from, all of her friends dying and stuff. But she looks good now. She looks back tip-top. She got her fucking blood sugar back under control or whatever the fuck was going on with it. I don't know. And Jon, he's realizing that maybe he might have made a mistake by trusting her. Maybe she's not the best person for the job. If she's burning all the fucking people, burning everybody. And he runs into Arya, and she's like, I know a killer when I see... Well, no fucking shit. You know a killer when you see one. You just saw this bitch burn everybody. What the fuck? Good call, Lori. I'm glad your fucking intelligence is shining through. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking making her say that. Like she knows a killer when she sees one. Duh. Fucking duh. Anyway, Tyrion, he comes out, and and he decides that he doesn't want to be the Hand anymore. So he goes in front of Hitler-esque Mrs. Hitler now. Anyway, she's has all of her troops back, and she's giving the fucking Hitler address to everybody, telling everybody that she's going to liberate the fucking world, and by liberate she means burn everybody. So Tyrion, he comes out like an asshole. Instead of being smart and intelligent like he normally is, he comes up and tells her, he says, I don't want to be the Hand anymore, and chunks this little fucking hand thing out there. So what does she do? She has him arrested. Surprised she didn't burn him. And they put him in jail. And then as little time passes, you see Jon Snow, he's going to go and talk to Tyrion. He goes in there and he's talking to Tyrion, and Tyrion's telling him, you're the rightful king. Would you do it? Would you burn these people? You know what needs to be done. You're the rightful king. He keeps filling him full of bullshit. And Jon, he's like, there's no justification for what she did, but yet he starts to try to justify what she did by burning everybody and stuff. Like he just can't figure out that maybe it was a bad idea that he fucking trusted her. Maybe she snapped. But anyway, Tyrion managed to convince him that maybe it's time for her to go, so. Jon, he proceeds now, after he leaves Tyrion, to go talk to the Queen of the fucking Ashes. And by now it's snowing or ashes, I don't fucking know. It's just like snow everywhere. But he goes to talk to Dany, and on the way to Dany, there's a pile of snow in front of the door, and I didn't think it snowed this fucking much already, but apparently it snowed enough to bury a goddamn dragon. Because the dragon's completely buried in fucking snow right outside of her door. The first time I saw it, I didn't think about it, but after looking back on it, I'm like, is this fucking snow or ash? What the fuck is going on? How did a whole dragon get buried in snow? Either way, it shakes off, and it smells Jon, and Jon smells like a Targaryen, so it lets it go in. And she's super comfortable, looking good. She ain't got no guards. I guess the dragon was good enough. You really don't need anybody else outside. But she has no guards in there, and Jon comes in armed, no problem. She didn't expect any foul play. And she's all bubbly and talking about the fucking throne, like blah, blah, blah. And Jon, McQueen, and he walks up to her, and he gives her a little kiss, and next thing you know, he just fucking stabs her in the heart. And he lays her down, and of course the dragon comes in at this point and sees Jon standing over its mother, and has a fucking knife in her heart. So the dragon does the smartest fucking thing. He turns around and acts like he's going to breathe fire on Jon and burn Jon, and at the last second he turns and burns the throne because he understands symbolism and all that shit now for some fucking reason. Or maybe he thought that the pointy thing killed his mother and he killed the other pointy things. I don't know. But wouldn't it have been a lot better had Jon Snow had Dany in his arms and he picked her up and he carried her, right? He carried her to the Iron Throne and sat down with him. And as he sat there, the dragon landed in front of him and saw him sitting there with his dead mother and burned him and the Iron Throne and Dany all in one fell fucking swoop. Killed him. How cool would that have been? Instead of just fucking whatever happened. Anyway, the dragon grabs Dany and flies off. He's like, fuck it, peace, I'm out, and he takes off. None of the Dothraki or anybody sees the dragon leave, or maybe they do, who knows. But we cut ahead. After these murderous ass people were just going around killing everybody, apparently Jon has turned himself into them or told them that he killed the queen. I don't know how they figured it out between there and there. But anyway, they've imprisoned him for like several weeks now, even though they just showed Grey Worm was murdering fucking people, so he wouldn't kill Jon for murdering his fucking queen or all those pissed off Dothraki or all those. They just captured Jon, because fucking reasons, who knows. The writer said, fuck it, we need him captured. So they go and have this big meeting, and it has a bunch of assholes there, a few people you've never seen before, and they're talking about stuff, and Tyrion comes in, and Grey Worm wants Jon Snow executed. Which, by this point, if Daenerys is dead, who the fuck is Grey Worm, who is he to demand anything of anybody? He's like a fucking war criminal who just came over here and sacked the city. If anything, all these groups should be banded up and kicking their fucking ass and getting them out of here. But anyway, now the Grey Worm has some say, and he tells Tyrion to shut his mouth when Tyrion tries to speak, and yet Tyrion just keeps on fucking talking anyway. And now they're trying to decide that maybe they need who a new ruler will be, and Grey Worm's cool with this, so he's like, oh, okay, y'all decide who the ruler will be. And Let's not forget there's three Starks right here on this little council. So you know who the fuck they're going to vote for. Anyway, Tyrion, they all decide, and one guy just, asks about having a democracy or whatever. They laugh in his fucking face. And Sam, and they tell him to sit down. And this other guy, one of the Tullies or whatever. No, he was a relative of the Blackfish. This guy, he stands up, right? And he gives a big speech how he would do the best to do it. And they laugh at him and tell him to fucking sit down. So Tyrion, he gets the bright idea, and he's like, who has a good story? A good story, a good fucking story. Bran the Builder. Bran the Broken. Bran the fucking Broken ain't got a very good fucking story. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But Bran the Broken, he was crippled, but everybody carried him along the way, and Hodor and all those other people died helping him and getting him there. He didn't do it on his fucking own. He had lots of help. And I'd like to think Jon Snow's story would be way the fuck better, even though Jon Snow died and came back. Right? That's pretty fucking important. And he was also a king in the fucking north, head of the Night's Watch. He's a fucking true Targaryen. And nobody in this fucking council, nobody, even Tyrion, the one that was just telling Jon to kill Daenerys, nobody mentions Jon fucking Snow as king. Even though he's the true rightful heir. Nobody. It's never mentioned. They settle on Bran the fucking Broken because he had a good story. Yeah. And everybody there just fucking agrees with it. Except for Sansa, she's like, the North will remain independent because blah, blah, blah reasons. I'm thinking the fucking Iron Isles wanted their independence the whole time. And Iron Isle chick just sat there and she didn't say shit. She's just like, okay, It's like as soon as Sansa said that, everybody would have been on board. Like, fuck it, we'll all just secede and be our own nation. No, everybody just shut up and follow Bran. Because, Bran's the best choice, even though he don't give a fuck about anybody. And Tyrion asks Bran, would you be the king? Would you be willing to lead it? And then Bran, after saying multiple times he's not even a person anymore and he can't be lord of anything. I can't be lord of anything. He says at this fucking point, the most ridiculous goddamn thing I've ever fucking heard. He says, why do you think I came all this way? Why the fuck did you come all this way? Matter of fact, why the fuck are you here, you piece of shit? He's the one who orchestrated all this shit to begin with. I think he's the fucking bad guy. And if the story were continued, I think he would have been the fucking Night King too. But no, the writers needed to end it here. They're tired of fucking with it. So anyway, we're stuck with Bran now. A guy who's not even fucking human anymore, leading all the world's people, all the he's the one that's going to be in charge, deciding what to do. Even though he doesn't give a shit about humanity and has very little humanity left in him at all. Yeah, he can't have kids and all that shit, but he's not going to live forever. And all these other houses, they're not going to be... Are they really going to listen to this guy that has no humanity in him? He's pretty much like a fucking robot at this point. But anyway, that's what we've been waiting on, wasn't it? Right there, that's it. Bran the fucking Broken. I thought Bran the Broken was kind of a fucked up name too for him. Can you imagine the king being called that? And we cut to the end, and after all this bullshit, painful thing, Bran the Broken's the fucking king of all people. Fuck Jon Snow being Targaryen, so they send him to the Night's Watch. That's where they send Jon. Even though there's no reason to be on the fucking Night's Watch anymore. There's no one dead or no people beyond the wall. Everybody's fine and dandy now. But anyway, they decide to send Jon to the Night's Watch. You see Grey Worm, they just decide, Grey Worm and all the Unsullied decide to leave. They're going to take a boat to Missandei's home country. And you never hear shit about the fucking Dothraki, the thousands of wild barbarian fucking horsemen that are roaming around now that have King's Landing. I guess they just roam the fuck around raping and pillaging, so that's never mentioned. Who knows? And Jon, before he goes, he talks to Sansa, who's going to be the fucking queen of the north now. Though Jon's still rightful king. And Arya, she's decided that she's going to go Dora the Explorer, and she's just going to fucking sail a boat out to nowhere, even though she's never has any sailing experience whatsoever. And even though the Iron Fleet are fucking nothing but sailors, and have never reported anything that way, Arya's going to be the one that does it. Fuck all those sailors for generations. She's never been on a boat before, but she's going to sail off into the sunset and figure things out, because the writers couldn't figure out what to do with Arya at this point. Send her away. Anyway, the Dothraki have left, or the Unsullied have left, so why Jon decided to still leave, I don't fucking know, because the Unsullied are gone. Who's going to make sure he joins the Night's Watch? But doesn't matter, because he goes as soon as he gets to the Night's Watch. Tormund's there waiting, and Tormund's been apparently waiting at this fucking Castle Black for a while now, with Ghost. It's been a while. I mean, I figured Tormund would already went well beyond the wall, but no. He's just hanging out waiting for Jon, like maybe he knew. Maybe he got a fucking text message, I don't know. So, you know, Jon, being the honorable man, he immediately abandons his post as the Night's Watch, even though he was acting like that's what he was going to do. And they head north beyond the wall, because that's where all the fucking free folk wanted to go, north beyond the wall. No, they've been fighting for generations to go south. Why in the fuck are they going back north? To the cold climates where there's no food or anything. And the undead have already raped and pillaged everything up there. There's nothing left. So why in the fuck would you walk back north? Who knows? That's what they do. The story's fucking over, man. We wrote the shit out of that. Thanks, writers. Y'all did a great job. All this fucking time wasted. So you cut back to King's Landing, and you have the book with all the knights in it, and you have Brienne of Tarth sitting down. She's still a knight, even though nobody was alive to confirm it. I guess Tyrion, he was there. But anyway, so she writes and goes in and finds Jaime's knight thing or whatever, and she writes in he was loyal to his queen and all that shit, and writes it with fresh ink in the book. And the funniest fucking thing is, she waits like a whole second before closing the fucking book and ruining all the pages with the fresh ink. Apparently, Brienne of Tarth had never wrote in a book before because she doesn't realize that ink has to dry. So she just ruined that whole fucking book and everybody's pages in it. So, awesome there. And so everybody's pretty much has a happy ending at this point. You cut to Tyrion. He spends about 5 minutes adjusting chairs for a meeting they're going to have. You know, Bronn, he's now master of coin and leader of the most powerful fucking house they have, Highgarden. He has all the food and all that shit. For some reason, they put Bronn in charge of all that. You know, that makes no sense. He has no concept of money, but that's what they put. Let's see, Sir Davos, he's the master of ships. Makes sense. He knows about ships and stuff. Okay. So Sam is the Grand Maester now, even though he quit his training and went off and just said fuck it, you know. But anyway, they put him in charge. You know, it was like in his 30s, you know. And most maesters are usually there for 20 years or so. But anyway, that's their decision now. So, and Tyrion tells a little joke at the end that he said a long time ago about bringing a beehive into the brothel and all that stuff. He never really hit the punchline, but he said it a long time ago too in one of the earlier seasons. I don't remember which one, but he did say it before. So it's kind of funny. It's a little callback to that. So now let's get to a little something that I found. I've been messing around with some necromancy, and I managed to bring up the head of Ned Stark, and I've been wanting to ask it some questions. So let's go ahead and go to that right now and see what it has to say.
One does not simply call upon Ned Stark from the afterlife.
Oh, I know, but today we are discussing a travesty. And I want to hear what your thoughts on it, Ned. So let's hear what you have to say.
I'll do my best to shed some light on the situation. And I'll try my best not to lose my head over it.
Right, so what was your thoughts on how the Night King was handled?
Who?
Oh, sorry, that's right. He was a fucking dumbass and you never met him. I forgot about that, yeah.
Probably for the best. I would have cleaved his head from his bones for his dumbassery.
Yeah, he was a fucking joke. Yeah, little Arya, though, you know, she did jump like 100 feet and roll a critical hit and stab him and kill him. So, yeah, she did the job.
That's my girl. She learned from Syrio well. I knew she'd have a full suit of plot armor by now.
He gave her such a good suit of plot armor that nothing could hurt her. Syrio did a job there. Even the Night King grabbed Arya by the throat, and the whole touch thing didn't matter, so he handled that. So,
not surprising. She has Stark after all.
Yeah, about being a Stark. So, Bran somehow or another, he got hold of the script and found out Jon is a Targaryen. Well, he has plot progressing powers too, so, I mean, of course he's going to figure this out. But yeah.
Aye, so my secret is out then. Tell me at least my daughters were able to keep the secret that I'd kept all these long years.
Oh, Sansa, she kept the secret, So she saw one fucking person, she went and told everybody. So yeah, she kept it about 10 minutes. So your secret was safe with her.
That little bitch.
Oh, it gets so much worse. So much worse.
How, by all that is right in this world, could it get worse?
Well, after everyone finds out about John, he just kind of walks around saying, McQueen! I'm pretty much being a bitch at this point.
The boy is in shock by the news, of course. How else would he call a Targaryen his queen? Thank the gods he isn't courting her or something stupid like that.
Oh, he's courting her, alright. Yeah, they've gotten real close, you know what I mean? They got real close.
On the Anna's soul. Trying to keep a clear head here. What, you're telling me the boy is betting his own aunt?
Yeah, he's just become a bitch, I'm afraid. I know.
Surely she's not as mad as her father. Tell me the boy has enough sense to know if she's a good ruler or not.
She may have had some issues and burnt King's Landing to the ground. No harm, no foul, right?
My gods, what has happened to this world in my absence? Can it really be this bad?
Ned, my headless friend, it is far worse than you ever could have imagined. There is terrible riders trying to destroy the world you worked so hard to protect. To destroy your legacy.
Aye, it is a cruel fate, and one I'm happy to have avoided.
Oh, I know, right? You're the fucking lucky one, man. I feel like all of our heads have been chopped off, too, after watching this bullshit. This travesty unravel. Yeah, you're the lucky one, dude.
Why would you summon me here? Just to tell me this wretched news? I did not return from the afterlife to be tormented with an even greater hell.
We all suffered the indignity of the story just to watch it all pissed away by poor writing at the end.
And now I return to the afterlife, with all the terrible knowledge of the events that have occurred after my passing.
Thank you, Ned. Dead Head Ned, and may you find peace knowing that the writers can never fuck it up any worse than they already did. They already messed the ending up, so rest in peace, Ned. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you later. Alright guys, so that about wraps it up. I had more to talk about, but it could just go on and on. If you want to talk about some stuff, say something in the comments. I'd like to talk about it a little more. But as far as video goes, thanks guys. We'll see you later.